Welcome back to the Wilderness Podcast. How you guys doing? It's Friday afternoon. It's my first Friday afternoon live ever done in life. Straight up. This is cool though. How y'all doing? Yeah, it's kind of refreshing getting off work. Uh, Looking at the day and how it's gonna go tonight. Yeah, I got some festivities to do tonight. Y'all can't tell. Y'all won't know. Anyway, how y'all doing? Yeah, check it out. Show tonight. The show today. I'm used to doing my shows at night. This afternoon, we're gonna do the Friday day show. Time to renew. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the week, you know what I do at every end of the week, just to share with y'all. I renew my thoughts. I review my week. I take a chance to kind of like take time out to I would like to say review, reflect, uh, and sometimes know immediately how to affect my day by, I would say, being able to apply some things immediately. You know how some things you do, this is how you kind of, at the end of your week, you prepare yourself for next week. You also should be doing it at the end of your day on Fridays. The reason why that's so healthy, because that's when it's fresh. That's when it's like, let me go ahead and absorb my week so that I can prepare to have the next week to be better. Because you want to always do that, because you want to make sure you consume your lessons that you've learned so that you can apply next week, because there will be new lessons. There will be new things to apply. So what if you was the procrastinating type that didn't want to say even absorb your lessons for quite some time? Those people's lives are disasters. They are disasters. They make mistakes that they can't make up for, because how does a mistake become a mistake or a mistake? It's because you haven't taken the time to renew your time, your week, your efforts, review so that you can renew. You always want to take time to review everything so that you can renew your ideological mind state. See, that's the problem with people, or even people that don't exist at this point in time. They don't take time to learn. They run on rhetoric. They run on what they think they know or what works for them, not taking account. Some people have based and built their life around how they are. But what is great about life, regardless of whatever it throws at you, you should always be able to adapt, overcome, renew, because you should have shit in order enough to be able to, and that's going to be harder for some than others. My situation works differently simply because of two reasons. You have to have vision, and you have to be open for change. Yeah. See, that's what I think America is really pivoting towards, which is why there are some extreme changes that people will have to make in their lives in order to keep a job, maintain a job, or do things that they have to do to feed their families. That should not be something you can complain about, or something you rat and rave about. You have to just figure it out to restructure your life around how things have to change in order for you to keep getting paid. So, uh, what I advise for everybody is to do one thing: relax, relax. First of all, relax. But I can tell you something that can help you, me, and every one of us. You have to get excited about change because of how beautiful it is. Change should not be so painful where you cannot see or have vision. And even applied vision, and applied vision is applicable to how you have to renew your thoughts, your mindsets in order to do one thing. Embrace the change. Shit, yeah. Sometimes that's necessary because if you are able bodied, you're a living vessel, and you know when I tell you about you, right? You are these things. So you have to orchestrate yourself and gain those concepts to apply them in order to make those changes. And then you have to embrace the change in order to what? So that your teammates and people that are around you are not picking up on your negative energy. If you're being negative, if you're being, you always should try to put yourself in a situation to service others. A lot of us don't want jobs. You want to be the boss all the time, right? But what's wrong with service to others? It will make your day go better. I promise you that. That's real talk. It will make service to others always makes your day go better because you have what? You've applied something outside of yourself and you given something of yourself to another that makes them feel better about their self. It's very simple and very easy to apply. All you have to do is do what you're doing properly so that you don't wake up in a perplexed state. See, a lot of people have bad habits. A lot of people have things they don't want to let go, but you have to let go in order to what? Renew your thoughts, renew your mind so that your actions are applicable. The physical actions that you take when you interact with people daily, that's going to change. And it has to change, but you have to be aware and you also have to be you also have to be aware of your actions and others' actions and understand that everybody may not behave like you, but if you are setting the example and you make sure you're on your square when you're interacting with other people, socializing, just purely interacting. You have to live your life publicly. You have to live your life, in a way that's appeasing to all. You know, the problem with a lot of people, the reason why they have to do other alternative things is because they don't know how to really interact with other people very well because of how they behave outside of other people. And it shows. So when people are not comfortable around you, when they're standoffish, and that's going to show. When they're not good team members and when they don't know how to, you can tell, when you're in person. You can also tell when you're not in person. That's socioeconomical aspects of things. It's in the social wave of how people even where they live. See, I live around a lot of different. I live in the United Nations, so I'm kind of comfortable with everybody. Uh, the thing is, some people live in concaves, and they are not comfortable with people. And then now, in this new age, in this new wave of the of people now that they have so much comfortability within themselves that can make other people very uncomfortable. Not me, of course. So I had myself Saturday cocktail. I mean, no, not Saturday. This is Friday. Friday little cocktail. Yeah, damn. This timing and everything is throwing me off on this Friday afternoon. I promise you, I think it's Saturday afternoon. It's like all these things are going through my mind in real time. I'm like, damn. I'm really doing a Friday afternoon show, and it's like, oh shit, like I'm thinking it's another day. I don't. It's not. I'm quite aware of what day it is. It's my second little drink. It's uh, shit, man. Wow. Anyway, it's been a long week too. Yeah, but it's all good, man. I'm just saying, man. I'm an embracer of change, and I kind of been that way since I was very young. Since and it started before I was going to say when I was in the Marine Corps. No, but when I was a young man, yeah, but young kid, we moved around a lot as a kid. My mother, when we was in Florida, I told you grew up on a reservation. So when she wanted to, have my mother was extremely ambitious. She, very, very extremely smart. Had jobs. She wanted a job, raise her kids, own a business. She took herself down her path and was very successful. I'm proud of her. So, but she also fostered the ambition in her children. And me being a man, she always told me, the vitals, what we call the vitals in the black community is you got to be tough, you got to work harder. If you don't understand something, you better ask questions. If you don't, ask a lot of questions. She made sure I, was always a step ahead, emotionally. She knew I had quick wit, mother's wit. Common sense is mother's wit. Thank you. Shout out to my brother, Dr. Akil. But common sense is mother's wit. So quick wit, very smart, intelligent. Like to produce so that I can do what I want to do. Yeah, that's why this is the Will Is podcast. So the niche I always have had was to not ever impose my will, but to share my will, my prowess. But in this age and time, or even in the past, I would say a lot of my prowess came from having to show my my value, my worth, and how I was the real deal, and to prove myself. So I went through a period of time where I felt I was some kind of insufficient. I felt like my methods were a little unorthodox simply because I had to understand things from the root, and I saw how other people could pick up on things that they could just pick it from where they're comfortable with. I'm like, why? How the hell they see it from that way? And I need to see things from the root, and I never. It took a while for me to understand that if someone is teaching me something from somewhere, to associate it with how I can see that as the truth or lie. So I treat rooted situations as perplexed moments that you know, uh, I can engage and I can enhance my way through life. I use tools. I can formulate, sometimes a statement that a person can make into a tool that can reshape things that I want to change in my life. And sometimes it's a eureka or aha moment, you know, and you have to be the abracadabra, and you have to also implement hocus pocus. Y'all don't understand that shit, but those things, the way I applied that specific terminology was factual, you know. So you have to be the thing before you can apply it. You have to understand. You have to become the wizard. You have to understand your mystery to make it your mastery. Yeah. So understand this Friday show. Yeah, it's the renew your mindset, renew your thoughts, renew the perspective of how you see things just by enhancing, not changing. You don't have to change nothing about your mind. Your mind is yours. You get to enhance it the way you feel and see fit. But you will get to know if it's rooted or not. It depends on your temperament. Studying the shit that makes you angry, but you can't change. I had to learn that the hard way because I'm like, I didn't understand how people can understand logic, right? I'm like, oh, you don't understand logic. What's wrong with logic, and why doesn't logic? Why can't you grasp it? It's because you're selective. You pick and choose. You don't see the full picture of how things are really orchestrated and how things truly come together because you're too ruled by your perspective. And you don't know how to open up your mind to enhance things that are intangible and make it somewhat tangible in order to see the connection. See? Yeah, the things, and what I just described is how do you think you can visualize things and make them come to life? You're applying the same specific concepts, but with people, you're scared and you're afraid because it shows your vulnerabilities. See, that's why I try to be as transparent as possible because I can dress myself up and I can dress myself down. I have friends that are executives and that run companies. Hell, I run my own company. Where do you think I get the gumption from? Being around people that I associated myself with that I didn't know nothing about the things that I had to learn for myself. I didn't ask for the help. I observed their behaviors, and I consumed. That's what makes us consumers in America, ladies and gentlemen. You have to be particular on what you consume. I say that all the time. I feel like I got a bug in my nose, so I got to use a wipe. My nose right. Yeah, this is Will's podcast. I told y'all I was transparent, so yeah, that's a little rude. I didn't want to hear that shit. Sorry. My apologies. Transparency is important. I discussed it with some people. Whatever. Anyway, it's my damn podcast. You can take the lessons, chew up the meat, and spit out the bones. That's your first lesson. Anyway. But what I'm really getting at is we are here to embrace uh, the ideologies of people that have behaviors that have and the worldly experience that you have to be curious about. So I know I talk a lot of history of America, but you guys never heard me say I hated anybody. I just put things in perspective. You never heard me say I despised. It's just people despise you for your greatness, but that don't mean they don't tune into your ass, and that don't mean they don't know where your ass coming from either. But we have to grow beyond uh, always checking and start participating. Participation is good because you get to really be and not cocoon and show what you want to show. So it's okay to, you know, uh, be. You should embrace being yourself. Just don't always embrace others' beliefs. That's where you'll steer me wrong. That's where we'll have a problem. Embracing others' beliefs. You only know what you know, and people have to show you, just like they got to show me. It's like I got to show you. You know what I'm saying? We got to show each other. That's what growth is. Showing, embracing knowledge, and enhancing the capabilities of such. It's called being able to enhance your mind, and you can't always function on when we're individuals. We understand the past. We understand what happened. We don't, on this show we discuss it all. We understand history, but I also tell you on a continuum how to embrace the ideology of moving forward because we're always going to discuss history. We're always going to discuss, and we're always going to make the correlation between antiquity and what's going on today. That would never not be a part of the show, but you also have to embrace the future and what's in front of us. And I always tell you about vision as well. So, you know, I just I just have to give you information the proper way, authentically, even from when I tell you about who I am, so that we get that out the way. We covered a lot of ground there, but on the Will This podcast, I told you this will be an experience, and you will be edutained and entertained. But fortunately, I'm gonna keep cracking at it. Fortunately, and I'm gonna keep keeping it 100 with you because it's the way I stay humble. It's the way I stay down with you guys that tune into this podcast and become an alumni. You understand what I'm saying? You underdig? Yeah, that's true. So what we really want to continue to embrace on the Wheelers podcast is furthering our connection, furthering our mindsets, and furthering how we can affect the world together. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way to keep pivoting forward in a positive light, even in grim times. See, you if you keep saying words, like I told you, words are spells. You can't keep seeing times as grim. You have to see times as opportunities. Every second is an opportunity to do one thing: keep moving forward. Always keep that in mind. And always understand timing as well, because it may not be your time. It may not be my time right now today. Not specifically, but your time is always coming. You just have to keep your eyes open and don't get weary, don't get impatient, don't get hasty. You just have to weather the storm and understand that the appreciation that you have for what you do will elevate into something new. Anew. That's what you embrace. We put our time, efforts, and energies into things that's going to enhance us in our futures, whether it be spiritually, emotionally, financially. Uh, I mean, those are the most important. And even physically, a good workout regimen, you would be surprised how it will awaken your spiritual nature, especially with men. You get that weight off you in our older ages and you feel spunky again, all that good stuff. When you ain't got no blockages, when you ain't got no heart attack shit going on, when you feel absolutely, you know, young again and valiant. That can never go away. The only thing you have to embrace is, you know, uh, moderation. Taking your times and efforts. It's a great friend of mine told me one thing a long time ago. You don't move so fast. Slow down and embrace your movements, because you can do so, but also keep your mind. Those things are valuable in how I interpret, and that wasn't specific and verbatim, but that was how I interpreted. Sometimes when people have words of value to tell you, you don't always got to take it verbatim. Like I tell you, chew up the meat and spit out the bones. Everything you don't have to take verbatim, and I'm not telling you to totally switch or alter. No, make it palatable. That's what critical thinking can do for you. Critical thinking, and also, I'm understanding how more important it is to convey myself without using, profane language so much, and make myself palatable for a multitude of people that want to be entertained by my show, that have the intellect and the altitude. I'm grateful for you too, but you can't prevent me from being me. You got to be a little tougher too now. You got to level with me. I don't have to use profane language all the time, but you got to understand that the definition of profane. Profane is using cuss words like fuck, shit, piss, bitch, and all in a specific kind of way. But if I'm not cursing, when you're cursing someone, you're saying, I hope you die, or or you're being just directly and nasty and despicable to people. But sometimes when a person say fuck you, that just means get the fuck out of my face. It's not it's not meant with malice or hatred. See, the one thing that I don't do on this show, as that I addressed from the beginning, that I told you, I just stayed true to my words. So I seen some shit on TikTok. It's like, here go Malcolm X the Coon, Malcolm the Coon X or whatever. I'm like, wow, that's cold blooded, because I won't talk shit about the dude that do that same shit to me. I don't give a fuck about it because I don't know who he is like that for real, and I do know, but I'm like, he's a child. I'm 45 years old. That boy is a little. He has so much more to learn. He's a fucking idiot. Yeah, and I don't care. See, you live by the sword you die by when you talk that kind of shit. He can't say anything about it. Well, he actually got his wish. That's what he got. He got his absolute. And the shit that he was just spewing out was about to be some more fucked up shit he's about to say again. So there you have it. And then all of the crazy fucking wild shit that the Republican was saying, talking about they go to left. Oh my God, that's why I don't fuck with neither side of these crazy bastards, because the bro, whole family, kid holding bazookas and shit. Come on, man. That boy had more guns. That boy had more access to guns, and from a rich ass family, Trump supporting family too. The boy dressed up as Trump on as a fucking a cartoon character. Beloved Trump supporters. You can't blame that shit on nobody but yourself, Donald. Hmm. Perplexed, isn't it? Wow, wow. And damn, man, y'all see that's that. See, this is the epitome of what the fuck everybody talking about. That little small percentage of these people that don't utilize any fucking forms of logic what's so goddamn ever. They disassociated. Disassociated from logic means cognitive dissonance. You only feel the pain that you want to feel. Fuck everybody else's. As I said last night on my previous show, I'm like, well, goddamn, I just want to know one thing. All this about political assassinations, Fred Hampton, goddamn, I mean Martin Luther King, for real, Malcolm X. I mean, sh- uh, who was the Abdul, Khalid Muhammad? Wow, no memory of them. And then this raging. They giving memorials on MSNBC and every goddamn major news outlet there is because they say freedom of speech. But let me or any other black creator out here, okay, they did this. Bless them. This man did not have a congressional seat in Congress or nothing. He owned a Despicable Val news network. He ran it and was bringing up the new age of blatant white supremacists. Yeah, that's what he was. Fuck, that's what the fuck he was doing. You should listen. I think white people should listen to other white people at this point because they're all over YouTube talking about how vile he is, and they using shit that I'm like, God damn, I don't want nobody fucking with me, so I ain't finna say that shit. But god damn, hey, that's how they feel. You gonna shoot all of them too? That's crazy. That's crazy as hell. That's the most that's despicable bullshit that these people would even take a more worse position. Won't learn from the underlining aspects of this whole fucking situation. Nope. They're just they mimic him by martyring him by being vile, racist, and just saying shit that don't matter either. See, that's the shit that I was talking about. Making a man a fucking martyr that did shit like yeah. Oh boy, 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 I tell you. Sometimes it's just good to disassociate. Sometimes it's just extremely a good thing to disassociate from the bullshit and carve your own path, identity, and perspective because you know what people want to do and all the time. So on the Willis podcast, I told you this show is selfless. Shit ain't about me. I'm talking about what people do so you can guard and order your steps of knowing what and what not to do. And I also am just as transparent enough to know what the fuck I let you know what I do. So I studied to show myself approved, to live and breathe and to honor myself in this wonderful vessel that my parents blessed me with. Grateful to them. There's nothing wrong with putting time, energy, and efforts into embracing a new version of you. Uh, I think that's what we all should do. That's what I always say, especially on this podcast, because that's the solution for all things. You just have to make it applicable so where that you can completely identify and, as I told you, I do absorb and consume things that will better you. And those are the things that you may have to get from the outside because I see that a lot of people struggle with their internal demons. So you have to want better for yourself. It all goes back to you. It just depends on the phase and how you see yourself at that specific point in time, and actually in this specific present point in time. Yeah, I think that's more applicable than anything. Always present, always in the present, so that you can control your actions, your behaviors, and your natures. That's the show today, people. I got that right today, right? I got it. Yeah, it's the daytime. It's Friday. But I want y'all, if you're doing anything tonight, I want you to take care of yourself, be responsible. Uh, if you're going somewhere, have a good time. Don't do too much of anything. Don't overdrink. Don't oversaturate. Um, don't wear. Don't if you're going to somebody's house, don't wear your welcome out. Shit. Always be kind. Always, be neat. And let's embrace a new. Yeah, a new way of treating each other with damn, at least with some dignity and respect. And if somebody slips them and kind of scuff your shoes, and they say, "Hey, man, I apologize, man. Can I get that for you?" Don't make them do that shit. Just say, "Man, it's a shoe, and it ain't over. It can be wiped off, and I do it myself." See, that's dignity to another human as well. So some people, back in the day when we grew up, some people used to, "Nah, motherfucker, you done scuffed my shoe. What? Lick it off, or clean it off my goddamn foot right now." See, that's all ego bullshit, man. Can you let your ain't shit more important than a heartbeat? It's not more important than some fabric and material. So the moral fabric and lesson to the show tonight is guard your humanity and guard humanity. Stop taking the interest in taking lives over your egos and your self-professed claims to whatever the fuck it is. It's just kind of cool to let people be. If they're not offensive to you, if they're not offending you, if they're not harming you, at least physically, no harm to you whatsoever. You're not hurt. You have no rights to hurt other people. Just kind of leave people be, so that you can give yourself enough room to be better too. All right, that's the show today. I appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good time if you're going out tonight, if you partying. But that's the show. Depending on what I'm doing, I may come back later. But I just wanted to give you a good old Friday tidbit, something for you to think about. All right? Yeah, Friday show, Friday live show, Time to renew your thoughts, renew your mind. Go into next week better. Yeah, in all facets. But check it out. It's favorite part of the show. You know what it is. Say it with me. It's my favorite part of the show. Come on. The world is